Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today, Sunday, January 12th.
Weight check. Weight check. What do you weigh?
The same as last week.
What was that?
175.
I weigh less than Ivanhoe. I'm 54 years old, and I'm not dying. Although it felt like I was dying.
How much do you weigh?
172 in the morning.
It's basically, a poop away from.
I am pooping regularly for people that want to know. I've been riding and way ahead of schedule. So
That's good.
yeah, there's certain foods I can't eat, but I think that'll help me keep the weight off. So we'll see. Are you watching any football this weekend?
No, I'm not.
No?
We'll have to.
Football, like American football.
I know. I mean, I haven't had time for that. So no, I played some volleyball yesterday and that's it.
Okay. How's the new apartment?
I like it. Good location. Can walk to Little Italy. It's like 5 minutes away. So
Oh, the best place in.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the markets. You're more tuned in than me, so let you start.
All right, we're looking at the chart of the S&P 500.
Yeah, these are MarketSmith charts.
Yes, the market basically continues to climb a wall of worry. Last week, it had all the reasons to sell off, but deep buyers stepped in and continue to be in charge. I think on Wednesday, when that news broke that Iran has sent some rockets or missiles, the futures were down only 1%. And by the time the market opened, they were green, which just comes to show how strong the underlying demand is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most interesting news in years is how screwed up. I mean, Iran had a chance to, it's so obvious they had a chance to make America look bad, even though the guy was, I mean, Iran's just responsible for so much terrorism behind the scenes, but they shot down a passenger plane. I can't, and so they look like the worst run nation in the world. So Trump catches another break, America catches a break, and this bull market rages on. Where were you seeing the most strength of it? I mean, as defense stocks, I see broke out. The index broke out.
There is strength everywhere. Granted, it's a bull market, but don't expect it to rise every single week. There will be the occasional pullback and sideways consolidation. As we saw on Friday, the market is starting to show some signs of short-term exhaustion. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some form of a pullback to the rising 20-day in the near term. But last week, enterprise software definitely was the leading sector. We talked about it.
I guess because Salesforce broke out, yeah.
It's not just Salesforce. We talked about it in the last week's show. It's Salesforce. This is the IGV, the ETF. Salesforce new all-time highs. Pretty much any of the enterprise software names that went down 30-40%. At some point in 2019, just get a big bounce. I guess everyone who sold for tax loss harvesting reasons at the end of the year now is buying back. Look at Twilio.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week.
I kept Twilio. I had sold my Elastic for tax loss selling, and that hasn't had a bounce. So there's, the Amazon scare continues there. I think Twilio has the Amazon scare, but a much stronger, diversified revenue base.
Anything cybersecurity also.
Yeah.
Amazing.
CRWD. I think cyber is probably the leading ticker there.
The entire sector, anything related to software just had a great week last week. And it's interesting that, if this will continue this week, or we'll see another rotation. Bull markets are notorious about the constant rotation of money between sectors. And the new earnings season starts this week, which probably means we'll see a little bit more choppiness. And we start with the big banks. I think JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America.
Pull back, but Goldman's running earnings. Goldman above 230 was a number that I was watching. I didn't pull the trigger because I have so many stocks, but it took a long time for Goldman to get above that 225, 230. And I would not be surprised to see this not look back as much as they're hated. Hang on, my dog is, hang on one sec, Ivan. Dog break. Hang on. Come on, pup.
So yeah, a bunch of financials are reporting this week. And it's interesting that in the previous quarters,
as much as they're hated, Ivan, and in my top of the list of hate for me, I think this is going to be a big year for banks. There's going to be a lot of companies that they can acquire. Goldman's been much more acquisitive and focused on the consumer. So the Goldman's the one that I got my eye on. But yeah, this is a big week. Banks reporting. They've run into earnings. Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, in the past few quarters, we typically saw banks run ahead of their earnings report, and then they would gap up and pull back, give back. This earnings season, we haven't really seen a big rally in anticipation of earnings. So it will be interesting if we see a change of character. Maybe we see them gap up and then follow through. If they have really strong results, as I suspect they do. The biotech sector is currently interesting. On Friday, of course, sold off. It was among the weakest sector, but then if you look under the surface, there's some interesting, still good-looking setups. And considering that there is a catalyst this week, there is the JPM healthcare conference going on, between today and Tuesday, and that typically acts as a catalyst for some of the names to break out. And for example, I'm keeping an eye on BHVN, Biohaven, Pharma Holdings. It is setting up for potential breakout. If it clears 58.50. BPMC is another one. They tried to break out on Friday, but it couldn't close strong because of the general market weakness towards the close. You can definitely find some individual biotech stocks that are still looking good.
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting, so I just cannot believe how negative, I cannot believe how the Boeing situation, like I looked at the stock the other day and I was like, this stock should be down 50% based on the criminal activity that's been going on there. But it's kind of held surprisingly well considering all the leakage of, so I think there's more bad news there. I heard crazy rumors that Buffett was looking at this company, but man, they haven't had, there is a lot of problems there, and that's a big Dow stock. So I've been surprised. That's how strong the market is. Like any other, I mean, this is basically like GE, like a criminal financial organization that's supposed to be making, airplanes. I think their defense is keeping them busy, and that's just how strong defense is. I don't know the defense ETF, Ivan, but that broke out to all-time highs.
Yeah, I think it's the one that I know. There's several. It's XYR.
Yeah, I mean, wow. And then that space stock, I think it's like the Elon Musk Space Holding Company, SPCE. I think that's kind of like a roll-up.
Yeah. Name.
C, I think, Ivan.
SPC.
E.
Virgin Galactic. Okay. That's the Virgin Galactic. I don't think Elon Musk is.
I think with Tesla being so strong, like now he has the last laugh, there's a lot of people speculating on this stock. And so there's just a lot of speculation. It's a fun market because, stuff's moving. People like
all stocks with high short interest are definitely moving. Look at what happened last week with Luckin Coffee, with LK, which is a competitive of Starbucks in China. They had an amazing run, even though they...
it's like 2 years old and has how many stores already in China? It's crazy.
They're already number one, but of course their stores are just teeny tiny vending machines.
I think
don't compare it to Starbucks, but they're
Roy,
growing and they're losing money, of course, but investors don't care at this point. They managed to raise a lot of money last week and the stock didn't crash as of right now. It's never too late. And the other one that had a very high short interest and rallied is Beyond Meat.
what was the news? McDonald's, I think.
There were several news. They introduced fake pork, which we know about the pork shortage right now in the world, and also McDonald's in Canada officially said that they're going to offer Beyond Meat in 50 something locations, which it means Canadians really love fake meat, and it might really.
My McDonald's stock. Hang on one second. My dog is barking.
And that grow and Beyond Meat products might just also appear in the U.S. I mean, McDonald's is a huge distribution network. That would be a huge positive, of course. And considering the super high short interest, it's not a surprise that we saw that big move. And this is why I'm also keeping an eye on other stocks that are kind of setting up, but that also have very high short interest. Like, for example, something like Canopy Growth, which is American.
Yeah, I've been watching this sector bottoming. A lot of technical guys are saying there's divergences down here. So that's the one I'm watching.
Yeah, well. I think 40-50% of the float.
Above 22 and a quarter, I may try that.
Yeah, 40 to 50% of their float is short, if I remember correctly. Another one that I'm watching, it's an enterprise software name, very high short interest, I think 35% short.
They go on a run before the lockup. Yep, for sure.
It is setting up. I wouldn't be surprised if they test 44 anytime soon. 10% is nothing when you have 35% of your float is short.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean that's basically it.
My Facebook play is working. It's amazing. It still hasn't had that move. Google's had a move now, and Apple's had the move. Amazon and Facebook are the ones that are starting. But there's Facebook on a weekly. That looks beautiful.
Amazon definitely is the one that hasn't made a big move yet compared to the others.
Amazon and Facebook are my two faves here. It seems like what Walmart's running, Amazon's consolidating, and now Walmart's pulling back, and Amazon's getting some mojo. So it seems like those two kind of move in at different times. But yeah, it's kind of the same old that we've been talking about. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. And then you got your swing service back up. So we've wound down Market Wisdom just because I couldn't keep up. So how is your system? Where can people sign up for your?
Yeah, they can just go to my website, ivanhoff.com, and you just see what I'm offering. It's basically a private Twitter feed with real-time ideas about options ideas, stock ideas. There's some intraday ideas, there's some swing trade ideas that last several days, but there are also ideas for busy professionals. So there's some position trade ideas that last several weeks. There's something for everyone. And it also comes with a daily email for people that don't want to use Twitter. The Momentum 50 list is, I continue to update it. There are many people sign up just because of it, because they love it as a source of ideas. Mm-hmm. And that's it pretty much. I mean, so far the market has been really favorable, and we've done really well. We've had some big gains. I actually share, if you go to ivanhoff.com/premium, and then if you click under performance, you can see the performance of all the share ideas. This is open to anyone. Anyone can see all the closed ideas. So it's complete.
You have top list. You do have volleyball pictures in that too.
No volleyball pictures. Okay. No interest.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay.
All right, buddy. All right, good job. I'm glad you're having a good start to the year. And hit us up, everybody. It's easy to find us on the web. Hope you enjoy the show. Thanks, Market Smith, as always. Great charting and data for us, being a sponsor. And I'll see you next week, Ivan.
Yeah, see you next week.